All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be working on lesson 1-3, which is decimals to the thousandths place. And we're going to be able to read and write decimals to the thousandths place. So we are talking about, again, lesson 1-3, decimal place value, so that we can read and write. And we're going to talk about powers of 10 as well. We're going to start with this little problem. Okay? It says, at Susie's Sticker City, customers can buy a book of stickers, a page of stickers, it doesn't say that, but it is, a strip of stickers, and a single sticker. We're going to provide the missing fractions. All right, so we know that one book of stickers has 10 pages, and one page of stickers has 10 strips. All right, but to find out what fraction of the book a page is, well, it's 1. So it's 1 out of, how many pages does it take to make a book? 10. So that page is 1/10 of the book. All right, so now we know one strip, well, there are 10 stickers in one strip, but we want to know the fraction of the book that a strip is. So one strip, it takes 10 of those strips to get to a page. So this would be times 10. And then to get to the book, it would be times another 10. So it would be 1 out of 10 times 10. And 10 times 10 is 100. Because 100 can also be written as 10 times 10. All right, so we know that there's one sticker here, and one sticker is 10 stickers is one strip. But I want to know the fraction of the whole book. So to get from one sticker to one strip, I have to do times 10. And then again, just like over here, one strip to one page is times 10 again. And one page to one book is times 10 again. So this one is going to be 10 times 10 times 10, which would also be 100 times 10, which we know is 1,000, because we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3 zeros. So the fraction of the book that this sticker would be 1/1000. All right. So hopefully that kind of gives you a little introduction. So now we're going to go back to our little place value chart we had yesterday. And remember, we talked about how each time we move to the left, each time that number moves to the left, it's multiplied by 10. And each time it moves to the right, it's divided by 10 or multiplied by 1/10. All right, so if I'm moving this 5 and I want to move it into the tens place, it's going to be 5 times 10. And 5 times 10 is 50. All right, so there is 1 0 here, and there is 1 0 here. If I'm going in the opposite direction, it's going to be divided by 10 or times 1/10. So the 0 is going to be on the other side, 0, and the 5 moves to the left. Now, if I want to go to the hundreds place from my tens place, again, it's going to be times 10, 5 times 10, which to get from the ones place, it would be 10 times 10, which would be, if we combine this, 5 times 100 which would be 500. 2 zeros here, so 2 zeros here. Whoop, that didn't, sorry about that. Then if we go to the hundredths place, it's the opposite because it's getting smaller. So my zeros are going to go on the left side. So if I'm going here, it's going to be divided by 10 or times 1/10. And together, this would be divided by 100 or times 100. So that means I need 2 zeros because there's a 0 in my ones place, a 0 in my tenths place, and then the 5 moves over. 1, 2 places, 1, 2 zeros. And if I'm going to my thousands place, nope, sorry about that, wrong place, right here. Again, it's going to be times 10, which would be 10 times 10 times 10, which would be times 1,000. So it's going to be 5,000. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. And if I'm going here, it's going to be the opposite. So it's going to be, again, divided by 10 or times 1/10. If I'm coming all the way from the ones, it's going to be divided by 1,000 or times 1,000. So 1, 2, 3 zeros in that denominator, which means I need 3 zeros before my 5, my ones place, because everything starts with my ones place. 1, 2, 3 zeros, and now I'm in my thousandths place, and I forgot my TH here. Let's fix that. Thousandths place. So the number of zeros before or after the digit is how many spaces away it is from the ones place. Okay? So if I am talking about changing a number from a fraction to a decimal, or to a decimal to a fraction, and I'm talking about using my place value, if I have the number, let's say I have the number 0.007, and I want to make it into a fraction. Well, I don't have any wholes here at all. I know there's nothing here. The number that I'm working with is my 7. Because remember, when we're talking about fractions, the numerator is equal to the number we are talking about, and the denominator is how many in all, or the numerator out of the denominator. So we are talking about 7 out of, so we know we're always going to have a 1 in the beginning, out of 1, 2, 3, ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros, because it's the thousandths place. Now, if I have the number 0.512, all right, I'm talking about 512 of whatever this is. And so we need a 1, and then the last number is 1, 2, 3 away. I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers here. So that's 512 over 1,000. All right, now let's try it going in the other direction. Okay, so if I have, let's start with an easy one. 5/10. Well, we know there's no wholes. How many zeros are there? 1, so I only need 1 0, which is in my wholes place, and a 5. Because this is 5 divided by 10. 5/10. All right. If I had 6 over 1,000. All right. I know, here's my decimal. I know I need 3 zeros before the 6. 1, 2, 3. And there's my 6. Okay, you could also think of it as I need 3 spaces after my decimal point. If I were talking about the number 52,000, again, I know I have no wholes. I need 3 spaces after my ones, because I have 3 zeros here. I'm going to start with my smallest number, which is my 2, and then my 5, but I can't just leave that blank. I've got to have a placeholder. So there is my 52 1,000ths. And if I had, let's do another one, 17 over 100. Well, again, I know there's no wholes. I have 2 zeros here, so I need 2 spaces after my decimal point. I'm going to start with my ones place, put the 7 there, and then my 1. So 0.17 is another way to look at it. Okay, so now that we've learned how to take it from a fraction to a decimal and a decimal to a fraction, I want to talk about that place value just a little bit more. So I'm going to turn my page over. And I want to know, you can't see it, how much greater is 0.3 than 0.003? Okay, so I'm going to use my place value blocks for this one. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit so that you'll be able to see my place value blocks better. Well, you can't see that. So for this time, this place value block is going to equal 1 whole. Okay, so we're going to say that this is equal to 1 whole. So if this is equal to 1 whole, and I'm talking about decimals, then that means this, because it takes 10 of them, if I broke this up to make this, would be this 1 by itself would be 1/10 of that whole. So this would be 1/10. And then, so this was my whole, this was 1/10. So this little guy, well, it takes me 10 of these to get to this. So that would be times 10, and 10 of these to get to this. So this would be worth 100. My little square would equal 100. All right, so this number is 3/10. So 1, 2, 3/10. And this, oh, that's 3/1000. I don't have a thousandth. Well, we're going to draw this instead because we can make an even smaller square. So we're going to make a tiny square. I should have used my big block. So there's my tiny square. So that is even smaller. So that's going to be 1,000. And I really should have made it even smaller because I should be able to get 1,000 inside here, but then we wouldn't be able to see it. So if I am saying, I would have 3 of these and 3 of these. Well, to get from here to here, I have to divide by 10, divide by 10. So that means that this is 100th smaller. But if I'm talking about greater, I'm going in this direction. So this would be, to go from here to here, would be times 10. And to go from here to here would be times 10. So then it would be times 100. Now the other way you can look at it is, here's the 3. How many spaces are between that 3? It would have to move 1, 2 places to get to this same thing. So it is times 2 zeros, 100. So 0.30 is, well, I shouldn't have written it right there. Let me write it over here. 0.3 is 100 times 0.003. All right, let's try another one like that because that is a little bit confusing. Okay, this time we're gonna use this scale again, but we're gonna do a little bit of a better number. This time we're gonna say how much greater is 0.5 than 0.05. This one's a little bit easier. All right, so I'm going to put my 0.5 here is another way to do this. And I'm going to put my 0.05 here. All right. To make this in the same place this is, I'm going to move over 1 space. And every time I move over a space to the left, it's times 10. So that means that 0.5 is 10 times greater than 0.05. So if I had another number, let's see, I have the number 16.056. And my question is, how much greater is the 6 in the ones place than the 6 in the thousandths place? And this is kind of an easy one as well because we're talking about the ones place. So I have the 6 in the ones place and the 6 in the ones place and the 6 in the thousandths place. In order for this to be the same as this, it would go 1, 2, 3. So it would be times 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros, times 1,000. So the 6 in the ones place is 1,000 times the value of the 6 in the thousandths place. All right, hopefully you can understand what I was, hopefully that helped you. If you have any questions, we can talk about it when you come back to class. Again, you will have a little sheet to practice this that will be right underneath this video. So good luck and do your best.